that I secretly
Hello,
intro. God love iMovie and Max. There's nothing you can't do.
I feel like we're like a true crime podcast. I love it.
That's what I listen to at night when I go to sleep. It's me and Keith Morrison and murder.
It really shouldn't be as relaxing as it is. But
And I was listening to one last night, and it was like, your worst nightmare, your house being invaded by 2 marauders. And I'm just like, how am I sleeping to this? Now, who knows what I'm actually dreaming about? But hi, all. Welcome to the Austin LGBT Chamber podcast. I'm Tina Cannon, joined here with Colton Ashbrenner.
Hello, everyone.
We've had a good week. We've got a good week ahead, and we've got a good month coming up in March. So lots of fun things happening. But we thought we'd kind of run you through just some of the chamber news, things that have happened and things that are happening on the horizon. So let's take a quick minute and get into So we had a good time in Lockhart, Texas, a sentence I never thought I would say.
I really never thought I would say it, but I loved it. And we have so many members down there now.
We do.
We are up to 15 Small Town Big Pride Lockhart members.
And there was more that wanted to sign on and just kind of like, oh, we missed the boat. Well, we'll do it again. But yeah, if you're listening, we took a very fancy ride. Thank you to CTA Worldwide Transportation and to Momos for sponsoring the booze cruise part of it, out to Lockhart. And we spent the afternoon out there visiting all the new chamber members and enjoying some libations and trying to hit all of them before the bus took us back at the end of the night. Good time.
And the mayor proclaimed February 10th, 2024, Small Town or Austin LGBT Chamber Small Town Big Pride Day.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, my Siri wants to get in on the action here. Yeah,
she was singing to us.
He was great. I mean, he looked like kind of everybody's grandpa. He looks like everybody that's read me Bible verses along the years. Let's be honest.
So sweet.
But he was super sweet, super engaged and welcoming. He loved the fact that one of the highlights of that proclamation is that the buying power of the LGBT community is well over $1.7 trillion.
He loved that.
I think he squealed a little bit when he heard that.
Too.
He was a good guy. But big thank you to Amy, who is on our team, who helped put this together. She was the spearhead of that. Amy is down for the count with VD. Wow.
Terrible.
COVID. Yes. Yeah, she's having a horrible Valentine, so we will send her our love and adoration. But she's not joining us today. But we did. We had a great time. There's the little rainbow ribbon cutting. We had micheladas on the bus. It was a very luxury bus.
And all of those great pictures that you see are one of our Small Town Big Pride Lockhart members, Lisa House Photography.
That's right.
So good.
And you can see these photos and a whole bunch more on our social media pages. They are everywhere. And she did a great job.
And Facebook has the most.
Yeah.
It's the largest album.
She made me look a little skinny. I was kind of digging it.
Oh, no. Well, she sent all the photos, and then I didn't have time to post them. So 2 days later, she was like, I added 2 more photos. Your eyes were closed in one of the group photos.
Bless her
so
heart.
there's 2 more in there.
That's great.
And I love that.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
My eyes are always closed, so thank you.
But yeah, good time. Good time. So we're going to do this again. We're going to try to do it again. I think we're picking San Marcos next.
Yes, I've heard rumors about San Marcos
Yes.
and also Dripping Springs, ?
Dripping Springs, ? Could be good. I know they've done a great job of having some pride parades.
Bastrop's been reaching out to us.
Could be interesting. But the idea is to take our members and take our community into these small towns where a lot of times there is this stigma that we're not welcome there. And we're trying to change that conversation and show both the small town and our community that you can go there. You can have big pride in a small town.
And it's cool. Like all of our businesses love to work with each other.
Yeah.
And so it's cool to see that happening,
and there's nothing
even
like
in Lockhart.
Having like 25, gays walk into your business all at one time. Like we tended to kind of go around these like little mini clumps of us and take over. It was fun.
The plastics. It was fun.
And then we've got coming up in March, where we've got South by Southwest. Of course, it takes over the city. I will tell you, if you are trying to prepare for South by this year, These are record-setting numbers again. We are back to pre-pandemic numbers. We're seeing hotel occupancy rates the way it was before. If you have friends coming in and they haven't booked a hotel room, yeah, it's SOL time because we're back to the way it was. Same with airline bookings. So South by, our chamber has always been engaged and involved. What do we have on tap for South by?
So on Tuesday, February 20th, we will actually be at South by Southwest Center on Lavaca Street. I think it's like Lavaca and 14th.
Yeah, 1400 Lavaca.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
It's on the scroll.
It's hard to see from over here. I did have LASIK, though.
Sharp vision, modern LASIK. Thank you.
So South by Southwest Center lobby, we will be there with South by and Equality Texas, talking about all of the LGBTQ plus programming at South by Southwest 2024. Sweet.
And then our chamber puts together the big queer kickoff party. That'll be the first Friday of South by Southwest.
It's the 11th year.
The 11th year of big queer kickoff. It's great because if you're looking to really kind of connect with the LGBT community that's attending South by from all over the world, this is the party. This is the gathering that everybody goes to. So it is an official South by event, so you will need a badge unless you are super gay, then you can probably just get in.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess.
South by Southwest badges, priority access. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're working with our friends at HRC of Texas.
Nice.
So we'll have some exciting announcements coming up.
We will. And then the next day, we have not a panel. What are they calling it? A discussion. We're going to have a shindig. We're going to have, what'd you call it the other day? Like a kiki?
Oh, yeah. I think we called the party last year kiki.
Kiki.
This one's like a little less kiki, a little more serious.
Yep. So it'll be a panel discussion with our friends at IGC talking about how companies can be more intentional around how they support the LGBT community all year long and what they can do around advocacy and using that economic voice. And it's really kind of geared toward employees of those companies to attend because that's where the groundswell is going to come from is the employees pushing that idea through. So lots of things happening around South by Southwest. Also happens to be like right after that, my favorite holiday of the year is St. Patrick's Day. More to come on where we will be for St. Patrick's Day, but you're going to want to come find us. But in the interim, we are planning a trip to the motherland of St. Patrick's Day. We are headed to Dublin March 24th through the 27th. Thank you to our sponsors, RSM and Visit Austin, for making that happen. We're going with about 16 right now, entrepreneurs, business folks here in town. And we're going to learn how to do business with, to, and from Ireland. So if you are interested, there's about 4 or 5 spots left open on this trip. So you can register on our website or at decacentex.com, or just give us a call here at the office. We'll get you all squared away. But 5-star accommodations, good time had by all, discount coupons and flight coupons from Delta Airlines. So it's an affordable trip. You can go. And moreover, your company can pay for you to go.
And so many fun people are going.
Yes, it's going to be.
Don't miss it. I mean,
it's good.
Even if it was just us, you don't want to miss it. But we have a good list of people going.
Yeah. Silicon Labs is coming with us. Dell Technologies is going to host us over there. RSM, EY, Deloitte, right? Some major players are involved in this. And it's a great time to learn how you could expand your business horizons to the only English-speaking country in the entire EU. Coming up, we've also got a chamber luncheon. Had a good one last month.
Yes, last month we were at Murray's Tavern,
yes.
which is a new location for the chamber. Travis
good
Tober.
home-style grub, kind of.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. And everybody knows Travis Tober, Nickel City.
Yeah.
Love.
Old pal.
Yeah, old pal. But the luncheon was a lot of fun. We had Bill McCamley from Transit Forward.
So nobody got to talk.
Exactly.
Bill's got all the words. Love you, Bill.
Oh, yeah. Learned a lot about Project Connect and transportation in Austin. And then next month, we will be back at one of our favorites, Gusto Italian.
Oh, yes. And it gets you out of the downtown area for South by. So I will say all of our luncheons, it's not a hard sell out there. They fill up, they sell out. You don't want the FOMO homo. Like, get yourself registered for the next monthly luncheon, because I think Gusto can only house like 50-ish of us. Somewhere in that range.
I think they bumped it up a little bit this time, but
Yeah.
I will say the same people have been emailing me the last 2 months because we sell out and there's not enough room. So please register. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And the food's so good.
Because if you don't register and then we have to make room for you, that means that Colton doesn't get to eat.
I know.
So
I like to eat.
Don't do that to Colton. Don't do it to Colton. Some crazy things have been happening in our city. Talking about news. There is a guy so the city of Austin is looking to hire a new city manager and has been for a while. We've had an interim city manager for the better part of a year who's kind of been mixing up the shop and cleaning up house a bit. But there was a recording. If you haven't seen it, Google, I think KView and Statesman ran an article on it and they have the recording. But this guy thought he was on kind of a closed circuit Zoom call, but he wasn't, because he is a city manager in Bozeman, Montana. And he went on a tear, complete with all kinds of choice words about Austin and the city manager. He made it sound like he was being recruited, but come to find out, he was never recruited. But anyway, he was talking about what like an absolute, what do you call it? He called it a show that was happening in Austin, and that the hiring process was a complete show, and running the city would be a complete show.
Wow.
Yeah. He went on a tear, and bless his heart, he thought he was alone, or he thought he was amongst friends on that Zoom call. He is now on administrative leave in Bozeman, Montana.
Well, that makes sense.
Yes, because when you take on the city of Austin, you're going to have to pay the piper. But it's going to be interesting to see who they finally do recruit. It's a national search for a city manager. Not a job that I would want.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be, the way our city is run, is it's supposed to be the city council sets kind of the big policy discussions. And then the city manager is the one who's supposed to facilitate those and just kind of be the admin, if you will, of all of those policies. But at times, those kind of get blended and blurred. And depending who the council is, depending who the mayor is. And so I don't know. I just hope whoever they bring in has like deep roots in urban planning, transportation, and housing, because those are the real issues facing our city. Of course, our police contract that's still yet to be signed. But in other local business news, you mentioned Project Connect. Project Connect was originally slated to, with a rail, was supposed to knock over an Austin icon in its path called Dirties. I did not go to UT, so I give about Dirties. I've never been in there.
I haven't either.
I feel like it's a rite of passage if you're a Longhorn, but if you're anybody else, it's just another place on the drag. But they're saved. They've been saved. The folks at Project Connect have rerouted, I'm sure to much expense, to save Dirties. So if you people in this city do not go and eat at Dirties, it's on you at this point if it goes out of business.
Let's go tomorrow.
I'm going to take a hard pass. Hard pass for me. Also, we're losing as a city. We're losing an iconic venue that's been here a long time, 50 years. Highland Lanes is closing down. I wish I had a sound of like bowling pins being knocked over.
I know. Fun fact, I took a bowling class at Texas State.
That was your PE credit?
Uh-huh.
I took walking.
Oh,
it was like a legit thing.
Too. Yeah. There's nothing like going into a bowling alley at 9 a.m.
Oh. I didn't even know they were open. Does it still smell like cigarettes?
Oh, of course. Yeah. And you're like in college, you're usually hungover at 9 a.m. Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, so Highland, they're closing down. On South Congress, we've seen a lot of change happen. I was just reading in the Business Journal this week. There's rumored to be, although it's pretty solid, that Kim Kardashian is going to be opening a shop on South Congress for whatever her company's called.
Skims,
because she's skimming off the top.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's. I hear a lot of people just kind of like lamenting the whole, South Congress and, oh, we've lost this company, we've lost this business, and I feel it. But at the same time, I was talking in a room full of people the other day. I'm like, when was the last time you actually bought something from the bookstore or rented something from Lucy in Disguise that's gone now? Or you actually have to go there and spend money. It's just not going to miraculously be there every day.
That's true.
So,
and it's a lot easier to spend money there than it is at Hermes.
I mean, I've never in my life spent any money on that. Like, who is in there every day? We should go sit outside and do a podcast from out in front of the Hermes store.
We should.
Just be judgy.
Maybe they'll give us a Birkin.
No, I just learned what a Birkin was not too long ago from our dear friend Colton. I think my first house cost less.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely insane. It's just a bag. And it's not even good looking. It looks like a bag that if you drew a cartoon character, that's the bag that she would carry. I don't know.
It's wild.
Not my jam. Coming up also news-wise is March 5th, of course, of the primaries. We'll remind you again on our next podcast, but make sure you are all things registered and out there voting in the primaries. Another fun business report that came out this week was the Austin Airport, AUS. AUS Airport gave out their 2023 data. 22 million people, a record-setting number of people, flew through AUS last year.
Wow.
22 million people. Some other fun numbers that came out of that report. They determined that, there's all little restaurants and concessions in there. 50 tons of brisket was consumed in the airport.
That is insane.
Just feel bad and good all at the same time about that. 50 tons of brisket. 1 million breakfast tacos.
Well,
I'm a little disappointed by that number.
Brisket breakfast taco.
See, does that count twice?
I flew out. I think so.
I feel like 1 million breakfast tacos for 22 million people flying.
That's not a lot.
It's not a lot. That's probably how many I consumed this year alone.
Same.
And then 1,470 live music shows were held at our airport, which is, I think, one of the coolest things when you come.
That is so cool.
Yeah, you come flying in and all of a sudden there's, a band up there playing. That's pretty slick.
I've never seen that anywhere else.
I've seen it in Nashville, but I think it was on accident because I was there during some big hoo-ha week, like CMA kind of week on accident, and it was there. But yeah, I mean, for us, it's like a routine. Like we have a stage there, and it's part of who we are for sure. But we that's kind of the news pieces that we've got going. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, of course, if you'd like to sponsor, please reach out and let us know. You can visit our website, austinlgbtchamber.com, for a member directory for our events and a whole lot more. We are a big, bad, and fun group that is doing everything we can to uplift the LGBT economy in this city. We will see you on our next podcast happening every Friday at noon. Join us then. See you.